Welcome back to Washington Journal. We're joined now by Representative Paul Tonko, Democrat of New York. He's a member of the Budget Committee and the Energy and Commerce Committee. Representative Tonko, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mimi. Great to join you and your viewers.
Well, so let's start with that budget bill vote that did not happen yesterday evening. I take it you would have voted no if it had happened.
Absolutely. I think it's a reckless plan. It's one that really takes us down the road of hurt and harm for many of the people out there, the great many that I represent. And so, this effort to provide for a huge tax cut for the very few, in this case billionaires, and to get a bonanza tax cut at the expense of programs and financial impact on the great many of us is unacceptable, and I think a disastrous outcome for our economy. I certainly think that this administration inherited a very sound budget, a best budget comeback of any industrialized nation post-COVID, and giving it a chance to work through would have made us a very secure economic status for this country, but instead he's chosen to do all sorts of harmful measures that will really provide an inconsistent and unpredictable economy out there for many.
Nonetheless, the country is in debt to the tune of $36 trillion. So how would you address that, given, I mean, that the holdouts on the Republican side are saying that it doesn't cut enough, so it's not going in the direction that you would like to see?
Well, I think that basically the best way to cut the deficit is to put people to work. And I think that the successes of the 117th session of Congress under the tutelage of the Biden administration provided for sound investments in manufacturing, in an innovation economy, a clean energy economy. We saw it working. We saw hundreds of thousands of people employed to implement these programs and providing for sound union jobs that paid well and that offered opportunity for regional and state economies to start to really grow back. And I think that that formula was very scientifically based, very evidence-based, and provided a strategy that doesn't seem to accompany anything being done here. There's no plan, there's no strategy, there's no concept of where you're taking us. That blueprint isn't there.
So what is the Democratic strategy then? Is it just simply to vote no on everything, or is there something that you're planning to do?
Well, there are things that we can work on if they would allow for Congress to have input. The Republicans don't even have input with this administration. They may take them to the White House and review the plans, but it seems like it's thumbs down on the congressional representatives that do interact with him. It's my way or the highway. And it's not the way the founding fathers and founding parents of this institution, the United States government, it's not what they envisioned. They envisioned three distinctive branches of government with identified powers given to each. The power of the purse given to the Congress, to the House of Representatives, confirmed by the United States Senate. That doesn't take any kind of impact here. There's no reach to that sort of formula that was recommended by our framers. And so we can work in a bipartisan way on strategies, but let's have that dialogue. And it's, it's one way of thinking with the White House imposed onto the majority Republican Party in the House of Representatives. They take it to the floor and then wonder why they don't have the votes.
Regarding the tariffs that President Trump announced last week and then paused yesterday, as far as the reciprocal tariffs being paused on all the countries except for China, what was your reaction to that news, and what do you think is the best way to go forward on tariffs?
Well, it was a Wild West approach. I thought it was very dangerous and offered a great bit of uncertainty in the market, and it proved to be the case. I think what we really need to do, if you're going to use tariffs as a tool, to make certain that there are accompanying efforts for investing in manufacturing, investing in energy costs, investing in supply chains, making certain that that strategy to accompany these programmatic investments along with the tariff adjustment, but then again, his bilateral tariff approach, where you're dealing nation by nation, is certainly not in keeping with sound strategies for application of tariffs. So I'm hoping they abandon that effort of a unilateral approach and go forward with a more sensible plan, but no denying here that it rocked the economy worldwide, and it's devalued stocks tremendously. I heard from so many constituents that were concerned about their retirement accounts, their retirement situations, that they had planned so well, and then they were put at risk, and we're still in a devalued situation of where we were just weeks ago.
So then what would be a Democratic plan to bring back manufacturing jobs to the United States? And yeah, go ahead.
Sure, no, I think it's investing, it's retrofitting in technology, it's making certain that you hone the skills that are required in an innovation economy, very specific skills that need to be accompanied not only through the matriculation at our universities and colleges, but through apprenticeships and mentorships that allow us to do those specific skill sets. I have many semiconductor investments going on in the 20th Congressional District in New York. We make certain that there are the corresponding workforce development programs along with incentives, tax incentives that enable them to retrofit the systems, to make certain that you invest in the technology. The semiconductor business is an expensive one, and we need to be competitive with nations out there that are likewise investing in semiconductors.
If you'd like to join our conversation with Representative Paul Tonko of New York, a Democrat, you can do so. Our lines are Republicans, 202-748-8001, Democrats, 202-748-8000, and Independents, 202-748-8002. You can start calling in now. Representative Tonko, would you be in favor of more targeted tariffs? Would you support that?
Well, I think targeted tariffs that have to be accompanied again by these other investments, but certainly this effort to go worldwide and do this 10% across the board and now this 125% with China is just like without a plan. And I think that the economy showed that there was such uncertainty and such retaliatory efforts made by other nations that it really put our situation here in the US at high risk. So targeted in a way that, again, is science-based and academic in its nature.
And there was a bipartisan bill put out that would require Congress to approve tariffs imposed by the president. Would you support that bill?
Sure. Again, I think it was the envisioning that was offered in our very humble beginnings, that Congress has a say there, a strong say, that the directive should come from Congress, specifically the House, making certain that the power of the purse and tariff application are initiated by Congress and then implemented by the president. This concentrating all the powers, three branches of government in the force of one being, in this case, the name of Donald Trump, is a dangerous thing. It's an assumption of power, and investing in one person. That is exactly what was worked against. It was part of the thinking, I believe, in the beginnings of the structure of this government.